to thank Michael Renner for sending me these clips of Bicycles Today. It was 1982. These are the newspapers you would get when you were racing in the NBL at the time back in 82. These are really great shots. One of them you can see is autographed by Rod Beckering. These are great. Thanks, Michael, for sending these out to me, and enjoy the video, guys. See you in there. Hey guys, Happy New Year. This is the last video for this year. This is New Year's Eve 2023. And today we're going to knock out BMX action. This is going to be November 1984. Thanks to my cousin James, I got a fresh supply of magazines. Bam! So we're going to start off with this one today. I've been banished to the upstairs since my daughter has her friends over for New Year's Eve, so I'm stuck up here. Figured might as well do a magazine. But anyway, I hope you guys are ready. Let's get into it and let's see what this one has. Get into it. The one thing I'm going to say about this cover is I like that it's aged. If you look at it closely, you can see how the creases are there and the white, kind of the white lines, and how it's a little distorted from age. It's really, really cool. Now my cousin has all these magazines in plastic bags. And I'll show you. Hold on one second. About that, as you can see, it's going to go back into this sleeve as soon as we're done, and so I'm trying to be really careful with these. I have like my own set, and I had them wrapped in saran wrap at one point, and I had them all put away. And so with him, he's got these sleeves. I don't know where he got these, but these are really nice. But anyway, I better be really careful with it. So let's get into it. So we see Captain Kirk is on the cover. Captain Kirk Crisco. I think they're testing something that says the Fox. I think it's an MT product that they're doing, so we'll get into that. But on the cover, Nora 85, gnarly free prizes for voting for favorite rider, bike, and team in the 84 BMX Trick Team Tour, shredding the freestyle gospel and heavy-duty race action in North Park, Pittsburgh. So we're going to look at all that. That's really cool. So this came out November 84. I was definitely in my freshman year in high school at that time, so we hadn't even got into Christmas break yet. All right, let's take a look. So here we go. We got the Z-Rims ad with Buff again. So Buff's pretty heavily endorsing the Z-Rims, which is really cool. ACS product. It's Z-rific. It's pretty cool. You know what? Incidentally, really quick, I love this look that Buff has going on right there with the open face helmet and just the goggles. I used to rock that look a lot. I always thought that was really cool. You know, so I'm telling you guys, I'm going to probably get an open face helmet and just do it a few times and try not to fall on my face. But what do we got inside the magazine? Let's take a look. We got Deer Whiz, trackside racing in North Park, Pittsburgh, testing the Vector Victory 1, results of the BMXA Readers Photo Contest. That'll be cool to look at. Freestyle Trick Team for Summer 84, testing the MT Silver Fox. Nora 85, so we're going to vote. Hot Shot, outtakes, and then of course the cover, Kirk Crisco heading for higher territory at the U, photo by Bob Osborne, of course. Let's open it up. Ooh, all right, here we go. This bike's just been re-released, so it's really cool that we're looking at this. They have a 29-inch version of this, or I believe a 26-inch version. And I know that this bike itself, as a 20-inch, was re-released, and my former brother-in-law, I was talking to him not long ago, and he picked up one of these, and he was really stoked. Now, he's a big guy. I think he really bought it just to have it, but it's a really, really cool pickup for him. Even though I'm not into freestyle, I was like, wow, that's a really awesome buy, dude. I'm glad you got that. All right, let's move on. Oh, hold on a minute. Okay, now, I'm going to stop for a second. This is the dream of all dreams when you're a 14-year-old kid in high school. The Hutch High Performance Pro Star. This was the top of the line. So this is the Cadillac of Hutch's per se, and I just love this bike as is. I'm telling you guys, I literally had dreams of owning this bike because I just thought it was just perfect in every way. There was just nothing about it then I would change, and nothing about it now I would change. 21.5 pounds for a full-on pro race bike. A little bit shorter than what we would be considered a pro size bike nowadays, but really it's on the top of the line of everything. Now, this bike as is, if somebody has this bike and it's a Survivor, I'm telling you, it's probably $3,000-$4,000 bike now, you know, because I mean, it was $800 in 1984. So That's super, super impressive. Let's go to the next page. And here we go. Vote for the number one rider. They would vote for Tim Judge, number one rider. Pro Star, obviously, they wanted that to be the number one bike. We have the Pro Raider and a Freestyle bike. All these things are really cool. And then, of course, they got the number one team for Hutch. This is a really cool ad. I like it. Okay, let's move on. All right, Dear Whiz. And we've got this GT Performer, Ron Wilkerson in the ad, along with Eddie Fiola. This is a really good ad. And I love the white Tough wheels. Not for racing, but I think they look really cool overall. Although, I mean, if you race colored Tough wheels, white Tough wheels, whatever, and you're fast, who cares? And I think it would look really cool, by the way. Let's read one of these. Let's take a look here. Different strokes. If RL, Buff, Woody Itzen, Martin Aprijo, Ron Wilton, and Old Bob Haro are so awesome, why don't they enter in the skate park competitions? Douglas Wood of Chamblee, Georgia. Wow. That's a pretty controversial question, but let's see what they say. You're talking about a different breed of cat here, Woody. The guys you mentioned are specialists in ramp and or flatline freestyle. The skate park riders like Eddie Fiola, Michael, and Hugo, who is absolutely nuts, are specialists in the pools. The two of the three kinds of riding here are different, not better, not worse, or just different. However, as skate parks rapidly become history, the skate park riders are shifting over to flatland freestyle. Fiola, for instance, shreds on flatland freestyle and ramps. One of the best things about freestyle is that everybody does their own number. Look at Robert Peterson. Give him a 2-foot square area and he'll do balancing tricks all day long that you absolutely won't believe. Remember Pat Romano? His specialty was trick riding on ice. On ice, wow. What this means to all you guys out there is the sport of BMX is a jewel of many facets. There's racing, trashing, in the boonies, ramp riding, pool, flatland, freestyle, wheelie kings, and probably other things that haven't been invented yet. The age of specialization is upon us, young heroes. Peak whichever tickles your tutu and go for it. Fame and fortune await if you got the right stuff. Oz. I think that's a really good answer. I mean, it's something that I've questioned before too when I was looking at these magazines. I mean, we got all the hotshot guys that are in BMX action, but they weren't really competing in these contests in the pool. And I can, with this answer that Bob gave, it makes sense to me because, I wouldn't race Supercross at my age, and I wouldn't have raced Supercross even when I was younger because I'm just not that level of a rider. I would have to stay on a standard BMX track. So I guess that's kind of the way you can compare it. But that's really cool. All right, let's go to the next page. We got a Tioga ad here, and not much going on here except they're advertising their stem here. Let me move the magazine over a little bit. So we got the stem. We have the nice little C-clamp. I love the little silver striping against the black, and then of course the one-piece crank and their little spider there. Pretty simple setup, but it'll get the job done, especially back then. Uh-oh, what's black and white and wins all over? That's got to be a Diamondback ad. Bam! The Diamondback team. So this is a really cool ad, and once again you can see the Diamondback went all out on their advertising, and it's just awesome. I mean, look at the colors. They look like the Raiders, for God's sakes. They were selling tons of bikes, and these guys were probably treated really, really well. To be factory Diamondback is like every kid's dream, and look what happens if you make the factory team. I remember looking at these things in the ads thinking, how do these kids get to this level, And it really is just a lot of dedication and winning a lot of races and getting your name out there and, being a good ambassador to the sport, which all these guys were. So it is really, really cool. All right, let's move on. Oh, wow. We got the actual crossword puzzle that has not been tampered with. Am I going to touch this? Absolutely not. It's not my magazine, so we're going to leave that one alone, but that's pretty cool. We got a Stu, what's to say? Stu's looking mighty happy these days with his racing back on track after an untimely injury in Memphis earlier this year. His new bike shop is cooking, and his hot book is off the presses. So Stu had a book out and a bike shop open, so that's really cool. Check out the Tioga headset ad. That's really cool. All right, let's keep going. Oh, what do we have here? We have trackside.
when Richie was searching for a new sponsor, he was looking in some awful strange places. So Richie is looking, he's rocking all the 09 gear. You know, Richie probably, this is 1984. It was pretty short after this that he got on Skyway, I'm assuming. So that's pretty cool. Oh, Hank and Frank, that was in the Bay Area. I love that. The Backyard BMX, no idea what that is. Probably another shop. And then Quickies. I've sold my grandmother my house, my wife, my car, everything to get to the next race, Frank Post. That's pretty funny. All right, let's move on. Oh, here we go. North Park, Pittsburgh. Now, this is such a great shot. Love this photo. This is by Bob Osborne. This is the kind of thing that I would look forward to, seeing these race photos. I love them. Just the angle of the shot, the lighting is perfect. We got, is that Clarence Perry? Yeah, that's Clarence Perry right there. Another big rider for CW. Gary Ellis sneaking here in the back. That's John Cruz. It's hard to mistake John Cruz because everything about him is so stylish, down to how his number plate looks. I mean, this is just so cool looking. And then Mike Polson, who's just in there now mixing it up with the pros. This is a great shot. I love it. Let's go to the next page. Oh my gosh, this is a great magazine. We got Tommy Brackens over here. Dee Leone back when he was on Redline. That's a great shot. And then we've got a nice race picture here. We got King Edward and Mike Polson in Code 3 pursuit of Donnie Atherton. Eddie picked up third in Pro Money, and Donnie got a goose egg for the day. Polson had a swollen ankle and jumping back and forth between two trampolines at the BMX camp he's been teaching on and off. So he hurt himself at a BMX camp. That must have been the Woodward thing, if I remember right. Okay, I'm going to grab my plug here, guys, because we're about to die. I'll be right back. There we go. I can see the battery was running low, and I just didn't want it to die midway through the magazine. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is a great shot. Look at this one. Billy Griggs was simply awesome. First and 15 expert, 50 and 15 cruiser. He's adapting to his new factory goose ride quite nicely. Thank you. You can see he's on Mongoose right here. Great shot. Billy has always been, again, one of my favorite riders as well. I've got a lot of favorites, but I really like Billy's riding style. Always have. And he's still so good. I just heard I was listening to that Harry Larry interview with the Lane 8 podcast, and he was saying that he got a message from Terry Tennant, and Terry told him, hey, me and Billy are moving to the 56 and over expert class, so get ready. So, but I think what happened is Harry said in the interview that he's done racing a 20-inch, so he's not going to come back on a 20-inch in March when he comes back after his suspension. He said he's just going to race cruisers, which is kind of a bummer because, you know, with everything that went wrong for Harry, I hate to see him just throw away his 20-inch because he had a pretty good year. Anyway, let's get back to it. We got Brett Allen here on the 25 to 34 cruiser, and then ornery looking critter, that's Aaron Sally, and he's faster than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rockers. Now, I seen Aaron Sally in one of my race videos. He was in Las Vegas. It was one of the Rennie Roker races, and I think he was racing like 11 expert or 12 expert. I think it was 11-12 open actually. And this kid, he was really fast. I mean, if you go back to one of my race videos, you can actually see him in action. And normally when I do the race videos, I kind of focus on the older AMs and the pros, but I actually posted his video because he's such a great rider. I thought it was kind of worth sharing. Moto Mitch Bingham blasts over the first jump with style and grace. Love the Haro pants. That's really cool. Move this over. Sorry, guys. That's a good shot. Racing for Vector. Oh, wow. This just gets better and better. Look at this shot of Doug Davis. That is just so awesome. Man. It says, you know, that cool feeling when you get you're cutting the perfect edge on your speed jumping. That's really cool. Look at, he's actually on his front tire. Back tire is in the air, and he rolled across the top of that tabletop on his front tire. Man, that is so cool. That's way ahead of his time, too, as far as the riding style is concerned. And check this out. I remember this picture, and look how he's hugging the hay bale, man. He's got his leg completely over the hay bale. Who is this? Here he is, the ever stylish Solon Foster. You can't hug the hay bales much tighter than this. That is an epic shot, and it just shows the difference between yesterday's racing compared to today's racing, because these guys are clipped in, so this kind of stuff is, to them, it's considered old fashioned. To us, it's just the way we used to ride, and I just love it. I mean, I've never clipped in for the simple fear of falling, being clipped in, so I still run on flats. I figured, well, at my age, if I fall and I'm clipped in, I'm going to get pretty hurt. So if I'm a little bit slower on flats, so be it. I'm just more comfortable on flats, but although I haven't tried it. What do we got up here? Leading the bonsai charge and 17 expert. It's, yes, the stick man, also known to thousands of pit tootsies across the country as Bubba Hayes. That's a great shot of Bubba on a PK Ripper for SE Racing. Great shot. Let's move on to the next one here. What do we got here? We got Quick Ken Amon. Looks like he was a mongoose rider. And then we have George Sievers, Chicken George. And he looks like he's on GT. Wow. George Sievers. Oh, no. George Sievers is in the back on Redline. I knew something was weird. This is Jeff Schofield. Yeah, and he's out in front of George. That's a great shot of the little guys getting busy. Let's see who won Pro. A Pro. Ooh, Tommy Brackens ended up winning A Pro at North Park. Rich Zagers took second. Eddie King third. Sean Texas fourth. Matt Harris fifth. John Cruz sixth. John Barnett seventh. And Eric Roop picked up eighth. As far as Pro Cruisers concerned, Clarence Perry won that one. And then we had Didi Leone, Turnell Henry, Rod Beckering, Matt Harris, Eric Roop, Scott Clark, and John Cruz. Pro Award, Tommy Brackens won that one. So he doubled. Eddie King took second. Mike Miranda picked up third. And then Didi Leone won B Pro with Rick Molintonero picking up the second. Oh, I always thought Rick was a freestyler, so that's cool. Scott Fitfield, he picked up third in B Pro. Now, I'm going to go back really quick here. Richard Zagars. I saw him win a race at the NBL Grands. I got that one in one of my race videos. He's a really good rider. And, of course, we saw Tommy Brackens win the World Championships in one of my videos, too, so that's really cool. Here's some BMX-style components from a company called Wald. This looks, wow, look at these old-style pedals. Man. And this is super old, too, this old stem here. This is kind of like this kind of reminds me a little bit of like what you would find on a department store bike. They're all kind of knockoff parts, but they were probably pretty reasonable as far as the price is concerned. Let's go to the next page. Yeah. Okay, so here's your track for North Park Pittsburgh track. I'm wondering, it says asphalt front on the start hill. So that's really cool because this is 1984 and they have an asphalt starting gate, which again is really ahead of its time. And then you've got a speed jump coming up here. It's a peaky speed jump coming off the first straight into a flat tabletop, moving into the first turn. Small speed bump here, and then you've got a tabletop leading into another, looks like almost a 180 here on this berm here on the second turn, moving into a step jump, and then you're going to have a little drop down here, looks like into a little bit of rough stuff, and then huge step up. Well, they're talking about that. After you come out of the last turn, this is really cool. I want to point something out. As you come down the step jump into the final berm and head to the finish line, there's absolutely no obstacle in your way. So at this stage, you can open up and sprint and not worry about being smooth over a jump. It's just a full-on sprint to the finish line. This is really cool. Now, this is just my opinion, and I don't know if you guys agree, but if we actually had an actual USA BMX race that's not so much like a Frogtown race or something like that, not the throwback races are awesome, don't get me wrong, but if USA BMX could just assemble a track just like this, just once or twice a year, just to change the humdrumness of the races that we're seeing, just to challenge the kids a little bit and the older riders and see how they would manage and navigate through a track like this. Now, my opinion is this. It's going to be easy for them because they're used to tracks that are far more technical, but it's going to force them to pedal, and we might see a different element of racing. I think that's a really good idea. I'd love to see it. Because you figure like the NFL and Major League Baseball, they have throwback days. They wear all the old uniforms and stuff like that. So we can have throwback days, throwback nationals, that would have tracks that are a little bit more traditional. Sure, you can still have the paved turns and so forth if you wanted to do that in the soil tack, but I'd love to see something like this just to see how the riders of today would navigate through here. And I know that the lap times would be insane, and I would love to see full-on sprints like this to the finish line. I just think that would be really epic. I know that a lot of riders that are riding now are probably like, no, we don't want to ride this stuff. It's old. But I really, really think it would be awesome. Okay, let's move on. Freestyling Schwinn style. Let's see what that leads to. The Schwinn Predator Freeform. This is a really cool ad because if you think about it, it's a 3-page ad. I mean, they're starting way over here with just the blur of color, and then it jumps over here with the Schwinn Predator. This is a really cool ad. It's a freestyle bike, but it's it's depicting speed, so it's kind of weird to see it like this, but it's a really cool ad, and it was $199.95 for the full bike, which is a really good deal. This is such a great shot. I love this one. We got Kurt Crisco here, and he's testing the vector, tucked in styling under the watchful eye of an extremely large local spectator. This is a really, really cool shot. I love it. Who shot this one? That's Mr. Bob Osborne. I love the shot. I mean, look at the spokes are sparkling. They're frozen in time. The shot around his vans are nice and clear. The color's amazing. He's tucked perfectly. He's got the goggles, the Jofa, the helmet that matches the pants. This is just perfect. And I know that when I was going through these magazines over the years as a kid, a lot of times kids would say, hey, how do I get in a magazine? And one of the things that they would always say is, show up professional. I mean, with the gear, that's what makes for the great pictures. I mean, this is not a race shot, but you guys know what I mean. All right, let's go to the next one. Yeah, let's take a look. So he's testing the bike here. Here's a shot of the Vector. It's a decent looking bike here. And check it out. It actually has a stem on it as opposed to just with the stemless system. And I'd like that a lot better. And oh, this is the number plate I was talking about not long ago, this tech plate. I actually ran this plate for a short period of time, and I had the wrong type of numbers on it. So these numbers actually fastened with a little clip on it. And I actually just used the traditional kind of sticker adhesive numbers and put them on my plate. And they got filthy dirty because of the fact that this is all exposed right here. So all the dust, dirt, and stuff got in it. And the stickers the numbers wouldn't stick after a certain amount of time. And I just decided, I don't really like this. I think I actually traded that number plate for something else, if I remember right. It was so long ago. Let me get a drink of water, guys. All right, let's move on. Oh, I think I stuck a page here. I did, okay. There's some specs on the Vector. This is a really cool bike. I love this seat, by the way. That's really cool. Look at the forks. That's a weird dropout. Look at the steep angle on it like that. That sharp angle, I should say. That's really unique. And the dropout here is on the bottom of the chainstay, which is really unique as well. This is a pretty cool looking frame. I don't know how functional it was or how good it was, but it looks really cool. This is a great shot here too of Kurt. He's getting some air there. That's really, really cool. All right, we got a CW ad here. We got the CW2 Z2000, and it looks like you can get it in white or chrome. Take your pick. I have my preferences. I love the way white bikes look because the colors pop on a white bike. I love chrome because it's a lot more durable. You don't have to worry about your bike getting scratched. We got the Team Cycle ad, and I had this helmet right here. My dad painted it blue and white and made it look like a Skyway helmet. He even did the lettering by hand. He painted them on, and it was really cool. All right, let's keep going. Here's the bike that they actually tested. It's $275 as a complete. That's a decent bike, especially for $275. That's really, really nice. These tires are just really cool. I seen this in the last magazine review I did, IRC. I love it. It's a knobby tire. It kind of looks a little bit like a Comp 2 tire in a sense, but that's a really nice looking tire. And this is what I was talking about against the white frame. See how the blue kind of pops against the white? That looks really cool in this white PK Ripper. That's really clean. All right, let's keep going. We got the A-Team and their weapons. I saw this ad in the last review, and we now have Toby Henderson, Rod Beckering, rest in peace, Lonnie Taton's in there, Bubba Hayes, and of course Brian Lopes. And check it out, Brian with another ad for ZapPad. These are really cool, the grid. That is really, really cool. I like it a lot. That black and white, that's freaking smooth. All right, let's keep going. BMXA Readers Photo Contest. Yep, it's time for the results. So this is the winner of the photo contest. Top spot in the color category went to Jarrett John Corwinder, who lives in Holland and is a Dutch member of the European Kuahara Freestyle team. Garrett and Hans de Jong, the photo. I'm sorry, I don't know what. Oh, I'm sorry. What the heck does that mean? Whatever. But this is the guy who actually won it, so that's a really cool shot. I mean, the guy's jumping through a hoop of fire. If anybody beat that, they must have had a great, great photo. Let's move on. So here's second place right here. And Kenneth Wayne Evans won that one. And this is for color. Third place right here was by Araya Sowantos, who shot this photo. And it looks like I'm never going to be able to pronounce the guy's name, but it's Punsakadi Kawapadrit. No idea. I know I butchered your name, man, and I'm really, really sorry. But he got third in the photo contest. Here's your black and white winners. This is a really good shot, Kevin Hull. Man, he's jumping over the whole team and the trailers. And then we got some Max Aerial style here, gang. The fearless guy, Dennis McCoy, came in second place. Dennis was kind of an unknown, so this is probably the beginning of a huge career for him. In third place here, let's see, what is this one? Brad O'Neill. That's a sweet shot, actually. These are really cool, like really, really cool shots. And these are the black and white category and the color category. Man, can you imagine how many entries they had for this thing? Good Lord. You know what? I wonder if it says. Click, 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 blah, blah, blah. I don't see anything where it says how many pictures were submitted. Oh, there it is. They got over 400 entries. I mean, 400 entries is a lot of photos, but you got to say, I mean, by today's standard, maybe not so much, but 400 that's a lot. All right, let's keep moving. We got the red line ad here. This is a pretty cool ad. Got the frames, forks, stem. There's your crank set with your spider, Ukiyo wheels, nice looking hubs, freestyle. I'm sorry, little freewheel action there. So pretty basic stuff. We put it all together for under 200 bucks. That's such a good steal, man. When I was shopping for a bike in '83, the prices were not this good and the options were not that good. I think it was '82, excuse me. So the Fox, a perfect street bike for $165. Golly, what a deal, huh? Then we have the array of wheels here. That's a pretty cool ad. Let's keep on moving. I love the Torquer ad. We just saw a little blurb on Richie Anderson looking for a sponsor, so I guess that problem was solved. He's rolling here with Tommy Brackens. This is a really, really cool shot. Love it. And I saw some photos of Richie on Torquer, and he was running the graphites on that bike, and it looked really sick. And then we have some quick change pads from Joe Hart with that rendering of Eddie King. And wow, look at this drawing. That's awesome. The Nerd Herd and Mo, as seen through the wonderfully wrapped eyes of Andy Jenkins. We're pretty sure that's a pair of racing goggles hanging from the antenna. Yeah, that is a brawl. So that is a really cool shot. And this is some of the, I guess this is a summer tour of '84 for the free BMXA freestyle team. And there's some really good videos on these on YouTube. And I review race videos. I don't typically do freestyle videos only because I don't have the knowledge to talk about it like I can for racing. But there's a lot of good stuff on this freestyle thing on YouTube. You can find a ton of it. And I might throw some in here and there because some of it's pretty good. And there's one for R.L. Osborne where he talks exclusively about the tour and the experiences that he had on the tour. And it's really cool. But look at all these people, man. They're just here to watch these guys ride ramps and do some simple tricks. And they got their kick ramp and a quarter pipe, and they're just doing everything. And everybody's here watching and enjoying it. So it's really, really cool. Oh, yeah, these are great. Look, we got Buff here riding on the Hutch Trickstar. And then we got RL here on his red line. This is a great shot. Looks like Buff bunny hopped up on a folding table here. And then on the kick ramp, these are really cool shots. Really, really cool shots. All right, let's keep going. Oh, wow, look at that. RL busting a one-hander here. One-hander, one-footer. Little ground action here. I love the ground stuff. I like watching that today. There's a lot of guys on TikTok that still do it. Oh, there's Eric Group and Billy Griggs running Factory Mongoose, the Expert California Tomorrow's Performance Today. That's a really good ad. Full page, full 2 pages. Check it out. They're advertising no gussets. You can see how it's got the former mongoose look. This is kind of like a Schwinn Predator, and of course Diamondback, and they got lines through it. I like how they put the red line kind of through the diamond, so you can't tell it's a diamond, but we all know that's a diamond. Again, because they're going without the gussets. And this is the bike that crew rides in Rad. So it's essentially this bike. If you look at it, that's exactly what he was riding. So that's really, really cool. All right, let's keep going. I love the wing here on the Oakley grips. And then let's keep going from there. Oh, here we go. MT Racing Fox. Looks like, oh, Rob, is that Robbie Roop in there? Yeah, it is. It's the Elder Roop. Robbie kicking out the jams at the U Palmdale. Look at the drop off on this. Bam! That's super gnarly. This is in Southern California, man. I miss the stuff where everybody would just go to local areas to jump. We had Treeview and Hayward. We had Red Devil in Union City, California, and then there was the Plunge that was behind Hayward Plunge in Hayward, California. So we had our spots to go riding, and then there was the Eden Youth Center track that was in Tennyson Road in Hayward. That was pretty cool to go practice on. So I had plenty of places to go ride when I was a kid. And this was really fun. You get to showcase your stuff, when you go to these local places. That's really cool. Great shot, by the way. Oh, that's epic. What? That is amazing. Look at that shot, man. Who shot this? Steve Giberson. Gibby shot that one. Look at the height on that, dude. Just straight moto, tucked in with just a slight turn on the handlebars. That's a beautiful shot right there. Here's the MT Racing Fox. This is the bike that's like 165. Yeah, 165 bucks as is. I have this C-clamp on my Skyway today. I bought that from Planet BMX. It kind of pops open and snaps into place. It's really cool. Man, all these shots are great. Look at Kurt blasting right here. Oh, they had a ramp right there. Bam! That is super clean. This is a great shot of Robbie Roop as well. Really cool shot. Was that also Steve? Yeah, Steve Giberson shot that one too. And they got the black and white shot right here. This is a really good test. For a $165 bike, obviously, Robbie's riding a more high-end bike, but it's really, really cool. Okay, we saw this one in the last one. This is the Huffy Pro Thunder, and we got Panaracer wheel tires here. Kind of a Comp 3 look on them, but not too bad overall. Man, JT seemed like they were in every single magazine. So a lot of JT stuff, and I kind of regret never owning a pair of these because I always liked these pants. I thought they looked really stylish. I wonder if JT Racing even exists anymore. I need to Google that. Nora Cup for 1985. BMX Action proudly presents Nora 85. All right, BMX readers, how's the time? Now's the time for to vote for the BMX heaviest hitters. So this is really cool. And these are the bikes that were up for #1 bike. You got the Kuwahara Laser Light and a Redline 600B GT Pro Series Mongoose Eric Roop replica. That's a cool looking bike. Diamondback Formula 1 and the Hutch Pro Star, which was, that bike was like a beast. And let's see what else we got. So here's all the teams that were eligible for #1 Nora Cup team, and that's ProNeck, MT, GT, Profile, JMC, GHP, Van, Schwinn, CW, Hutch, Raleigh, Torker, Thruster, Hyper, wow, Robinson, Vector, Huffy, Tioga, Murray, Redline, SE Racing, Kuwahara, Diamondback, Skyway, Mongoose, and Patterson. Now, that's a lot. Sorry I read all that, but I'm going to tell you guys, here's the difference between yesterday's racing and today's racing is you can watch a video or be at a race, I should say, and you can tell every single one of these teams just by sight who they are. Now the uniforms are everybody's uniforms look so similar. It's hard to distinguish who's who, and it's like other than the chase riders, they're really easy to spot. Oh, that's a chase guy, you know. But I would love to see this sort of commitment to the team and their own colors, you know, so that it stands out a little bit more. We got the bicycles anywhere from Schwinn, Diamondback Profile. I'm about 34 minutes in, guys, so I'm not going to read all these teams. And then here's all your riders. Now, this is a lot to choose from, man. We had a lot of good pros: Harry, Larry, Nelson Chandy, Brent Patterson, Gary Ellis, Mike Polson, Clint Miller, Clarence Perry, of course, Greg Hill, which I believe won it, John Cruz, Ron Anderson, Anthony Sewell, Eric Roop, Timmy Judge, Eddie King, Scott Clark, Pete Loncarovich, Donnie Atherton, Didi Leone, Jeff Ruminier, Richard Zagars, Brian Patterson, Mike Miranda, Toby Henderson, Stu Thompson, Tommy Brackens, Rob Fade, Richie Anderson, Sean Texas, Doug Davis, and Turnell Henry. Wow. I'm out of breath. But that's a lot to choose from, guys. A lot to choose from. Greg had already won 2 of them, as you can see right here, and Stu had won in 82. Greg got it in 83 and 84, and Brent got it in 81. Stu in 80. Bobby Encinas, that goes before my time, won it in 79. So in 1979, I didn't know what BMX was. So that's really cool, though. Nice dyno plate there and the dyno brake guard. I love this Bell helmet with the dyno visor on it. And then these are just posters that you could have bought. I've seen that before. And let's keep on moving. Oh, that's Greg Hill's ad right there, and with GHP. You can see he's already advertising his. This is kind of a good strategic move by Greg, because you're like, hey, listen, I'm already the #1 rider for 83 and 84, so don't even think about your vote. We got some snowboard ads here, and then Timmy Judge busting it out. Wow, jumping into the lake. Now, if I remember, I'm not going to read all this, but if I remember correctly, this was the sweepstakes winner. They got to spend the weekend with Hutch and one of the Hutch riders, which I think Timmy took the place of, which would have been Toby Henderson, but Toby's on SE Racing. But that must have been a lot of fun for this kid. All right, let's keep going. We got the Murray ad here. This is a great ad, and motives, done. KMC chains. Free BMX Action School folder. Oh, wow. I would have loved that, especially back then. $10.50 for the folder. And then, of course, some of the greatest cranks ever made in profile. And let's see here. We got the Mini Duel. It looks like Britt Audi advertising the Mini Duel. Akron saddles, and, of course, the GT Mach 1, $229. It's hard to beat that bike. Mach 1 for $229. That's a really quality bike for $229. And that's about it. We got Buff. Oh, look, Buff was there as well. He's jumping into the lake as well. That must have been great to watch these guys just go off and jump in the lake there. And then Greg grabs a quick bite with Cycle Pro tires. Look at the snake coming off here. That was awesome. And that's it, guys. We did it. That was a long one. Sorry, guys. 37 minutes. That's really long for me. November 1984 is in the books. Thank you for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. I'll try to go faster next time. I know I talk a lot. But thanks a lot, guys. I'll see you in the next one.
I got it. At first it was hard. Nobody believed me. Ever since then, I'm making it clear. This my year. This my year. I hustle in the dark with a bright my head. Get the bright idea.